Good afternoon. This is KDXI St. George, Radio St. George at 100.3 FM. And we welcome you to Startup Nation. Up-and-coming startups, entrepreneurs, wantrepreneurs go face-to-face with proven business leaders and talk funding, innovation, current business trends, technology, and social media's role in business. And now your host for Startup Nation, Ed Tracey.
What are you pointing at? I know it's on. It's on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Startup Nation. He worries about, Sean Donovan worries about me being on the radio. He's a good guy. Welcome to Startup Nation. My name's Ed Tracey, and we have with us today the Empress of Affogatos, the Queen of Coffee, Elise West.
You are my best friend.
I love you.
Thank
you. We have your Queen of Social Media over here in the corner. Are you doing Facebook Live?
Big time Queen of Social Media, Amanda Williams.
This is the first time I've not seen her in the official Affogato garb. Actually, when she came to Street Fest, she was dressed in her garb.
Really?
No,
I was going to say she likes to dress out of her garb into non-Affogato T-shirt.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
So I'm excited. You and I, you're one of the first people I ever met when I moved to St. George.
I will never forget that meeting. Ever.
You have no clue. We met at a chamber event, and you gave me a hug. You were one of the first people to give me a hug and not report me. So
I should have.
You should have.
What was wrong with me?
This is great. So anyway, I just want you to know, I think the world of you. We love you here in St. George. I can't even talk to you for like.
Okay, I'm going to be serious.
No, don't be serious.
I can't be serious with Ed.
I know. Not many people can.
No, I know.
Elise and Ed together.
Ow!
And you know what? We'll get to all this stuff. So you have a really, really, really cool little retail location where you serve healthy stuff. You serve coffee. You serve non-coffee. You serve keto. You have gifts. You get T-shirts. I have a really cool T-shirt, everybody.
Where'd you get that?
I got this from Affogato West. Affogato West. Do you have an East location, by the way?
Oh, perhaps. One day. I'm just getting started.
We were just talking about it. It's called Affogato West because your last name is West.
Yes.
Not because it's a West location. Actually, where is it located on the east side of town right now?
That would be the east side, yes.
So it's not even Affogato East.
We may be going west.
Yes, we're going to talk about that too.
Okay,
We're
cool.
going to talk about that too. So you started, it'll be 2 years, July 4th.
July 4th. I cannot believe that we opened a business
That's crazy.
On one of the busiest holidays
You
of
opened
the entire
on July 4th.
Yes. It was at Town Square for their big July 4th celebration, and we had a big, massive Affogato coffee truck.
That's awesome. Yeah, you had that
It's a
giant of a
crazy
truck
day.
out by the bicycle store there on Bluff Street.
They were great. They said, you know what? You need a place. Come and park it here, and you can stay as long as you want.
It was always busy.
Yeah.
There was always people out there.
Yes.
And you had
remarkable.
that kid with the blue hair. I forget his name.
Bradley.
No, was
Blue
it
hair? Oh, well, it depends on the day.
Somebody I can't. Some kid with blue hair. That's
I
all
only
remember.
had one of the
Bradley
male
Matthews.
Yeah, Bradley
Right.
Matthews. Yeah.
Good guy.
Yep. That was him.
Yep, good guy. But yeah, so and then you had some electrical problems.
We had some. You could say that. We had some big, major electrical problems. June 19th. I'll never forget that date.
June 19th
6 a.m.
of last year.
Yes, last year.
Wow.
2018.
Crapped
got a
out
call
on ya.
from one of my employees and said, "This truck is not corresponding with the way that I wanted to." And what's interesting about that, Ed, is that it was an amazing journey. It was very difficult. It was the hardest thing really I've ever done in the culmination of my almost 60
So why
years.
coffee? Why coffee?
Well, because I wanted to have coffee at my fingertips.
Well, yeah, you did a good job at that.
Well, you see a need, and I would love to have a strong coffee culture in St. George.
Sure.
And a place, for people to go. So, I'm an entrepreneur ever since I was born. So whatever it was going to be, I knew that I needed to do my homework and find out if there was a need first.
It's funny.
There was.
Just about everybody that's ever been on this radio program has said that. They didn't know what they wanted to do. They just knew that they had to do something for themselves. You do. You get up in the morning, you want to rule the world as an entrepreneur.
Well, there's a lot of freedom in that.
Sure.
So, there's a
There's
lot
a lot of not freedom, though. There's a lot of heartache, a lot of stress.
But freedom in that you get to live out what it is that resonates with you.
Exactly.
And if you're working for a corporation or a big company or a small company or whatever, you abide by their rules,
Sure.
by their guidelines. You know, they tell you when to go to work and when not to go to work. And when you do have the luxury of following your passion and opening up a business, there is a lot of freedom to that, even though it will be the hardest thing you'll ever do.
Because at the end of the night,
Yes.
when there's something that goes wrong, who does it go on?
Oh, yeah,
It's you.
absolutely.
It's you. It's me. There's nobody else ahead of us. You can't blame your suppliers. Can't blame, the utility company. It's all you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay, too.
It is okay.
It is okay. So now, what were you doing before coffee? By the way,
we have about 5 years.
classically trained pianist. I had no idea. Every time I hear something about you, it's something new.
Oh, well.
She did the thing with Amanda Barrick,
Yeah.
and come to find out, you weren't just singing; you were playing the piano. Why are you hiding all this crap from me?
Well, so I lived in Salt Lake for most of my adult life, and that's all I did. I worked for the airlines.
Are you an adult?
That,
You an
well,
adult?
no, I mean,
Okay.
I pretend.
Okay.
And it's a good word. I like to say it because,
Yes.
I mean,
I hate adulting.
so when I was a child growing up in the first 60 years of my life,
Right.
that's all I did was music and my airline career. So when I moved down to St.
So
George,
you were a flight attendant.
12, I hired them.
For,
yes.
what airlines?
Started out with Morris Air back in the early 90s. I did not hire then. I wasn't a recruiter. And then I went to Southwest Airlines when Southwest bought Morris Air.
Right.
And then I went to SkyWest Airlines. And then 9/11 happened. Yeah, we all know what happened there. So, but when I was not hiring flight attendants and ramp agents and customer service agents, I was playing the piano somewhere. So I did that for a long,
Like a lounge act?
long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, restaurants,
Oh, love
funerals,
it.
weddings.
Love it.
All of that. So that was, I thought that I wanted to write music for film.
You ever
And,
sing in a band, play in a band?
Yeah, I was in a band as well. Utah, what is that? Utah Arts Festival, the
King Sister?
yeah, all of exactly.
Your little
So I
band.
did that for a long time. So when I moved to St. George, I wanted to see what else was in there. I wanted to see what else Elise was made of.
Now, when did you move to St. George?
2008.
And just felt it was time for a change.
Mm-hmm. I
Came
needed
down
to.
here. And
Yeah, my friend Daniel Pettigrew was starting World Peace Gardens. He was the one that built Zatava out in Kayenta.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it was an opportunity to help him get that started.
So coffee wasn't on the horizon
Not
at this
then.
point.
No, I drank a lot of it, and I drank a lot at Zatava. We hung out a lot. Daniel was, he's a dear friend of mine. And so then I worked with him for a year, went to Alaska and worked up there and sold everything I owned, and worked for Princess Cruises, came back, and then I finished
Like Julie, the cruise director?
Like Julie, the cruise director.
Nobody in this room knows what that is. The Love Boat.
Amanda, la, 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 la.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. No, I wasn't on the cruise ships. I was on the ground.
Gotcha.
So, Amanda just said on the way over, you know so many people. I'm like, I know. I've had
do.
a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
That's why.
You do. You
Really.
meet a lot of people when you do that.
Yeah,
If you're
you
good,
do.
if you're good at what you do, even if you're only there for a little bit of time, you get to know a lot of people. So you change
do.
jobs like I have.
Yeah.
That's evident right there. If it's not evidence to you that we're born as an entrepreneur, we're naturally born entrepreneurs because we change jobs all the time. All the time.
Yes. And I wouldn't go back and trade any of it.
Nope,
because,
absolutely. Nope.
Because without that, that's when you find out, like, this is the rest of my life. What I'm doing now is the rest of my life, hopefully. And I felt like, in fact, I said this the other day at the Business Resource Center when I spoke there. I may have only been in business 2 years with Affogato, but I've been in business for 60 years.
Sure.
This is the culmination of everything, every job,
Everything
every
you've
person
learned.
I've met, every note that I've played. It is a culmination, and I could not be happier.
You're happy where you are.
Fulfilled. It's tiring. It's exhilarating. It's comforting. It's challenging.
And you don't work alone over there. You've got a really good staff. I love them.
6 phenomenal
They're good ladies.
women
good
that
ladies
have
over
my
there.
back.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
they still let me in, even though they know me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but we feel you driving up.
Yeah, I'm
we
sure.
get ready. We get ready. No, in fact, the other day I had something going on, and Yasmin texted me, and she goes, "We got you, boo boo."
She's
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better than that.
No, it
And
doesn't.
today I posted a post on Instagram. All all of my employees, with the exception of Bonnie, they were all there hanging out. Like who, on their days off. All 6 of them.
And they're good enough to where you could leave for a couple of days and feel comfortable with it being in good hands.
Absolutely.
And that's a big thing.
That is huge when you're a business owner.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and you just recently went to 7 days over there, right? Because weren't you closed on?
Well, when we first opened, I needed to get fully staffed, so we were closed on Mondays for a bit.
Oh, when you opened that.
But now we are back. But yeah, that a couple months later, we opened full time. 7 days a week.
And give us a little lowdown. What are the big things that you sell there? Obviously, coffee in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, it's been really fun to create coffee drinks, and I don't know where they come from. I mean, my mom just taught me to be creative from the day I was born, and she encouraged me in the kitchen, and so it's been fun to create drinks. So we have specialty gourmet drinks. We have non-coffee drinks. We understand that not everybody enjoys coffee, and and so we're able to really have a nice...
I know what's wrong with them, right?
We have a nice menu of non-coffee drinks, and they are really good, like the lemonade kicker. It's a good healthy drink. We have the African nectar tea. So we have some really nice non-coffee drinks. We have smoothies that are amazing. We use local Sun Warrior products, which is a pea protein. It's super good for you. And then we also have ice cream for the kiddies. We have popsicles. And then we have our locally made pastries, everything that we carry in the...
You make one of those.
Yeah, I do,
those
yes. You know what?
What?
Where's the camera?
It's right
Look
there.
At this.
Right
this
here.
This is our number one selling cookie right here.
I was going to say that green thing that you
that
make.
That green thing. Matcha cookie. I make 40 of these every 2 days. And then...
And what's in them? I've never...
Yeah. Vegan, gluten-free, which is really important to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. We carry a little bit of everything. And then this is our birdseed bars, nuts and seeds, vegan, gluten-free oats, and then we hold it together with peanut butter and honey. It's really good. I'm going to give this to you. We'll try not to mush it too much.
Don't smash it.
It's delicious. So we always try anything that we serve over the counter. It's pretty much locally sourced.
Locally
which is
sourced.
Really important.
Sure.
And then we do some of our syrups. They're all organic, which is important to us as well. Yes, some of them have sugar in them. Some of them we do sugar-free. But we really try, we can't do everything for everyone.
You don't do sandwiches. It's mostly
don't,
pastries and that's
It's,
sort of stuff.
locally made pastries. And then we have smoothies that are like meals. They're filling, good for you. A lot of
What's
people
that
will
green? Again, a green thing. I would, when I first came, I was trying to do away with some stuff that I was addicted to, like caffeine. And I was having this power drink that you guys do, and it was green. That's all I remember. It was like yay big, and they were good.
That is our superfood smoothie.
Superfood, that's it. That's the one. Yeah, they're good.
And it is. That's got the green powder. It's called the Super Ormus Greens, and that's also from Sun Warrior.
My voice has gotten deeper since having
I know.
those.
It's all those healthy greens.
And then you have little things like little trinkets that you sell there. You have artwork.
We have artwork.
Right?
We feature a different local artist every month on our local art wall. And then we do have the pottery of Brady Richardson. We might as well show this as well. So we have we've got lots of different, he doesn't make any tubes.
He makes those for you?
He makes those for Affogato.
How does he get the little logo on it?
I
like
know.
that?
Well, he uses the talents of Anna Oakton,
Gotcha.
who is another artist of ours. We have Groupie Love, so I'm wearing their earrings. We carry their things.
We've had Groupie Love at Street Fest.
Yes.
Nice ladies.
They're fantastic.
Yes, they're great.
And so we have limited room, but we're always open if you have some things that you want to sell. Come on over and we can take a look, and if we have room for them.
And you do jazz on Sundays?
Oh, yes, we have live music.
We
have jazz. They are the best jazz this side of New York
Carlisle
City.
Potter, Sean Owens, all those guys.
And they're the first and the third Sundays. We have live jazz 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We usually have about 100 to 150 people that show up for that.
Yeah, I went in there. I think it was Amanda was in there. And the place was jam. Amanda Barrett, who we love.
Yes.
Local musician, vocalist, doing good things. Packed.
It was packed. And Sundays, where do you go on a Sunday to come and hang out? And it's 11 o'clock, so you can sleep in. You can wear your PJs if you want.
Yeah,
we encourage people to... anyway,
my onesie.
moving along.
my rabbit feet.
Yeah, it's fuzzy, I'm sure. And then we have, I have no idea what I was just going to say. 11 a.m. to
About
1
music,
p.m. Yeah, live music. And
First
then
and third Sundays.
First and third is jazz. And then the second and fourth, we bring in local musicians.
Gotcha.
And some traveling musicians, too. They'll find out we have music, and they'll come and play, on their way to who knows where.
So now you've been in this location for how long? You've been up there? 1000
we
East.
moved in there,
right?
yeah, 214 North 1000 East, behind Tropical Smoothie. It's a little tricky to find, but it's in a big gray warehouse.
Yeah, it's up the road where Maverick is. If you go up there, Tropical Smoothies is on the corner. Pull into that behind the dance studio.
Behind the dance studio, you'll see a black banner on the wall.
So if you've been in this town for a long time, for a brief minute it was an 18 and under dance club. I wasn't allowed in there.
Club Rush.
Restraining order. And then it was a movie theater.
For 30 years, I think.
It was a movie theater.
30 years.
Long time. So
St.
that
George
building,
Movie
if you know where that building is, and if you haven't been in there, it's Unicorn Hatch Labs, Kevin and those guys, we've done our show in there for a few weeks when we were doing the YouTube show. There's a zip line in there.
Zip line, foam pit, ball pit, skate park. Yeah. Little skate
Nerf
ramp.
guns.
Not open to our customers, and that's what's really hard is people are so,
they see
kids
it.
want to go there, and that's so hard to say. I'm so sorry.
I know.
Liability. But yeah, but it's a funky, eclectic.
It's a cool little building.
You don't feel like you're in St. George.
Right.
And it's always fun to see people walk around the corner, all wide-eyed, like, what did I just walk into?
Yeah, it's kind of like you're walking through an entrance to an amusement ride somewhere, like you're waiting to go in and you're going to see some big old trolley you're going to get on. It's going to take you through a tunnel. Instead, there's a coffee shop and a guy with a ponytail. And Carlos, who has the best hair ever.
He has the best
Carlos
everything.
Verdugo. That guy, he should be a model. I'm not gay, but
I think he is.
anyway, guy's awesome. He's got a head of hair. I don't know where it comes from.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in there, good people. And of course, you've been in there for a while now, but you don't want to stay in there. You're looking for a place where you can call your own, brick and mortar, right?
Gotta move on. I knew it was temporary when we moved in.
Sure.
And it pretty much saved my business. So Kevin and his crew said, yes, come and move your things in here until you find another spot. So we have secured, and when I mean by secured, we haven't signed the lease yet, but it's looking very positive that we'll be signing a lease in the next couple of weeks, right across from the courthouse on Tabernacle and 2nd West.
Where the old Wilkinson's Electric used to be.
Yep, that's right. We're going to light up that place.
Light it up, baby.
That's right. It's going to be reborn in which is now called Jewel Plaza, mixed use, main level retail with 200 apartments above it.
That's pretty neat.
So we're going to be moving in there, 1,900 square feet.
There's a lot of that stuff going on downtown. I think it's great for the downtown.
I do too.
You're going to have a lot of dual income, no kids, and hopefully, because I hate kids, because I have my own. And
he runs George Street Fest and
I do.
17,000 children.
This is crazy. The amount of people we had there last week. Absolutely insane.
I'm hearing good things, Ed.
It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good. So
You're good for this community.
I love St. George. I'm telling you, like when you came here, you knew you were home. I grew up in New York City. I mean, this is like witness protection to me. I'm not kidding you. But I came here, I'm like, this is where I'm going to hang my hat for the rest of my life.
You get that feeling.
I totally do.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. If you say out loud to somebody that there's nothing to do here, you're not looking. You're not looking. There's lots to do here. And there, we're working on nightlife. Obviously, there's, things close at 6:30. Not quite that, but we're getting there.
Yeah, pretty much quite that now. But it's getting better.
We're getting another brewery. We're getting a micro pub over there at the old firehouse on Main Street, and
but the city planner, Mark Mortensen.
Oh, they're great.
Shirlane Quayle, they're all, and Mayor Pike. God bless his beautiful heart.
Bless his heart.
Appreciate you so much. And he is absolutely
willing he's great.
His front and back door and side doors are always open for growth. He wants it. He listens to every idea, and they really sit down and want the best and that's why you see all the buildings downtown now.
Yeah, lots of good changes. It's important. Just as with any community, there's going to be growth, and you've got to plan accordingly and make sure that you can support it. And so see how it goes.
Yeah, the roads.
One thing's for sure.
Fastest growing.
That's true.
Yeah.
So how big is this space that you're going to have now that you're looking at?
Right now we're in 1,600, so in comparison we're going to be in 1,900.
Oh,
it's going to have a little stage in there so we can have some music, and it'll be fun. So I'm a beach lover living in the desert. However,
A little farther walk to the
A
beach.
little further walk. However, I understand at one time this was the largest ocean bed in wherever in the world. I don't know that. I'm making it up. That's what Daniel said.
You should get this crap.
I don't know.
We're just making this up.
Google.
Google.
Anyway, so
Google. I hardly know you.
I love the ocean.
Me too.
So it's no secret that I want to have a place that, to call home and that I can walk into every day and welcome all of our incredible customers and tourists. So you're going to be walking into a beach house.
Oh, I got nervous. I thought you were going to put a pool inside your building or something. Do a little sand,
that's
That would be awesome.
that's behind the back door, I suppose.
And it will still be called Affogato.
Yep, Affogato West, which means Affogato. It's interesting. So when I first brought the truck, I was going to change the name because I didn't know. It's like, what's Affogato? But since then, people don't know how to say it, which is great, and because it promotes conversation. And I get avocado, I get affogato, I get all kinds of things, and it's great. And then people don't know what it means. I didn't know what it meant, and it's
espresso with ice cream.
There you go. You got it, Ed. You're in front of a lot of other people.
Va bene.
Va bene. So it means drowned in espresso. So that's our signature dish. And so we're going to keep the name because I like it. It promotes conversation. It's fun to say.
I don't want to sound like an idiot, but you actually serve affogatos?
And that is our signature dish,
That's
yes.
awesome.
We don't use the handcrafted homemade gelato. We use a really good vanilla bean ice cream. We put 2 shots of hot espresso on it. And then if you want to, we kind of Utah-ize it. We do a little bit of caramel. You can do peanuts, almonds, pistachios, and then we top it off with sea salt.
Really?
Yeah. And
That
what
sounds
sea
interesting.
salt does, it brings out the flavors of everything that you've just put on there. It is tasty, remarkable, delicious. People come in breakfast, lunch for an affogato.
Yeah, that's not something you hear very often out here.
Yeah.
Now, you serve, obviously, espresso. Do you serve the little cups with the espresso and a little twist of lemon like they do in New York?
With
in Italy?
lemon?
You never heard of a twist of lemon on the...
Well, yes, but we don't.
Oh, I'll have to show you how
Okay.
to do that.
See, I'm always open to new ideas.
that's good stuff.
A twist of lemon in your espresso.
If anybody ever comes in and asks for that, they're either right off the boat from Italy or New York. That's a New York thing. Let me have a double espresso twist
With
of lemon.
What is that? Does that
They
neutralize
They just
the,
put it. They
the
rub it
acid?
around the rim of the little tiny cup and they drink it like this with
the
their big
lemon.
fat hands. The New York people. This is very good. That's their thing.
Oh, well, I have a lot of New Yorkers that come into Affogato, and a lot of tourists, from all over the world. And I always ask them because if that's one thing that we are very, very passionate about is if we make you a drink, because we have a lot of drinks on there you've never had before. You don't like it, then we make you something else. You're not going to spend your hard-earned money on something you're not going to drink. That's
And you
one
have
of the most
a
important
frequent drinker club. What do you call that? A frequent
we do
drinker.
that. Yeah,
That's
For some
known as
people.
Irish.
We call that a loyalty club.
Loyalty
Yes,
club.
a
There you
loyalty
go.
club.
And you get
9 drinks.
9 drinks, and then you get the 10th one free.
Yeah.
I
It's
think I'm
any
coming
drink.
up on one.
You should be.
I am. I'm very excited.
What's your phone number? And then that's how we track
911.
it. See, we love it when Ed comes in. I mean,
It's so much
come
fun.
on. It's like
What's
it's
my
like
nickname?
it's like Friends.
HR. My nickname
Yeah.
is HR because I'm not politically correct.
His
unfortunately.
nickname is HR.
And it's
for
that way in the
sure.
computer.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't even.
HR Tracey.
HR Tracey.
No, you walk in and we find that with Affogato, and which is another reason. Affogato has evolved into a gathering space.
Sure, absolutely it
It
has.
just happens to serve really good coffee and have stellar, knockdown, amazing.
You'll have moms in there in the
customer
morning. They
service.
drop their kids off. They bring their little babies in the carrier. They sit and they have their drinks.
Yeah.
Students over at the picnic table doing their thing. You've got businessmen sitting on the other
Yeah.
sofa talking shop. I mean, there's
Lots of meetings.
people from all walks of life go in there.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about it to me.
And then we have the bar too. I feel like it's
Right.
Friends. So people walk in, Barb walks in the morning, everybody goes, Norm! So it's really, that's why I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm not in this. I've never been into anything that I do because of the money. That's never been from
You can't. You can't.
It's about the human connection, about collaboration, and about community. That's it. Like and we give back as much as we can, as much as we possibly can, which is really important to us, to my employees.
And yet there's something to be said for if
yeah.
you do what you love, the money will follow. You may not be incredibly wealthy, but you'll be set. You know,
Yeah.
be happy.
Yeah.
I don't see you looking too upset. You look like you're enjoying life.
It's never been better.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we love you. I
Life
think
is one
what
big
you're doing
adventure.
is great there. And how many employees do you have?
I have 6.
6.
I just hired my 7th because school starts pretty soon. So
Yeah, so you have busy times, slow times. What's your busy day of the week? Sunday's pretty busy over there?
Sundays definitely are busiest. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then, let's see, probably Wednesday is our slowest.
Gotcha.
But Mondays are actually surprisingly busy.
We got about 30 seconds here before we go to break. What's your website?
www.affogatowest.com. Facebook and Instagram, Affogato West.
Okay. We're going to take a short pause. When we come back, we're going to talk about social media, how she advertises, where she gets her business, and what we can do to make it even gooder for Elise West.
Like what girder?
Gooder and gooder. We'll be right back with Startup Nation, everybody.
Thanks, Ed.
Next on Footlight Parade, believe it or else, 2019 marks the 80th anniversary of The Wizard of Oz, and we're going to celebrate the occasion by visiting with Ernie Harburg, son of lyricist Yip. I'm Bill Rudman, inviting you to join me each week right here as we share with you
Footlight
sounds of
Parade,
the American musical.
Sunday evenings at 8 on Radio St. George 100.3.
Affogato Gourmet Coffee, a fine sponsor of DSU Radio. Affogato Gourmet Coffee offers gourmet coffee, smoothies, pastries, and keto-friendly offerings. Affogato Coffee with live music on Sundays, coffee, hot chocolate, great company, and a funky environment. Behind tropical smoothies on 10th East and Red Hills Parkway. Affogato Gourmet Coffee.
Steamroller Copies, we're the one to help you till your work is done. The full service business center makes your day run so much better.
Steamroller Copies and Copiers for Sale, a proud supporter of Dixie State University Radio.
Full service business center, Steamroller Copies.
Are you looking for an affordable GRE prep course? Look no further. The DSU Community and Continuing Education has partnered with the U of U with a special offer of $299 for St. George area residents. This one-week format will be held June 3rd through the 7th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the U of U St. George Graduate Center in the U Plaza. Go to continuing.utah.edu to register now.
Many of the community programs you hear are turned into video broadcasts. You can view past and live broadcasts on YouTube. Search Radio St. George and see for yourself. Radio St. George on YouTube.
Listen to The Pulse, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
We welcome you back to
Welcome back.
Startup Nation. Here's your host, Ed Tracey.
We are back, everybody, with one of my all-time favorite people, Elise Mortensen West, who brought me some snacks.
I did bring
And
you
I
snacks.
would, okay, so this one is, what'd you call it, the
It's called a
birdseed?
birdseed bar.
Birdseed
It's
bar.
called, nuts and seeds,
It's got a lot of stuff in there.
peanut butter.
Nothing here,
honey.
nothing that'll make me fail a golden flow test or anything like that. Okay.
Hemp. There is hemp seed in there.
Well, that,
I think, I don't know. You got to eat like 5 pounds of it.
I smell a challenge. And then this little, you make these. Elise
That's-
makes these.
That's a green little nugget of lusciousness. I make 40 of those
That's my
every 2
nickname for you.
days. Yeah.
My green
let's-
little nugget of lusciousness.
Okay, let's go off air.
Okay.
So that is vegan,
Vegan.
gluten-free,
What's it called?
matcha green tea cookie.
Matcha green tea cookie.
We have a huge population out there that enjoys vegan and gluten-free,
Oh, for sure.
and it's amazing. So we have a whole shelf. We have 3 shelves in our pastry case.
Keto was the worst 12 hours of my life. I'm telling you right
Oh.
now. What are you laughing at over there? She's laughing at me. It's true. I really did try it for like a week. And all I know is I have I have coconut flour, almond flour now. I'll never use this stuff.
Well, yeah.
I have like 38,000 pounds of stevia in my cabinet. I don't know what I was thinking.
That would last you a lot longer than you'll ever need for however long you are on that diet.
Does anybody want free keto stuff? Come to my house.
So we do, yeah. It's it works for a lot of people. It doesn't
Sure.
work for some. So
Oh, I have a cousin
Yeah.
that lost like 60 pounds.
Yeah,
and she'll joke. She says, I was so fat that the balls of my feet shrunk. I'm 4 inches shorter now.
oh my god.
because her feet were so big. Her name's Tracey. Tracey Stankunas. I'm sorry if you're watching. I apologize.
That is a true story.
It is a very true story. It is a very true story.
Yeah. I went through a lot of different, I don't even call them, just ways of eating.
Yeah.
And I now call myself a flexitarian because I listen to my body. It'll tell me what it wants.
A flexitarian.
A flexitarian.
That's how I vote. We won't even talk about that subject.
Wow. My mind is racing.
Yeah, sure. So, okay, so we've got a little bit of history on you and your. I could do a whole show of just you and music. The fact that I even know you play the piano, I am like, I want you to do a show with me.
Oh,
that means no. Did you?
Oh, no, that wasn't. No. That was like, every time anybody, all they have to mention is the word music.
Oh, I love music.
And piano and.
Oh, I love that.
You know, I mean, I gravitated to the piano when I was 3 years old. My mom knew. Okay.
So 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago, and I love you.
Love you more.
And yeah, so that's it. It's so nostalgic for me.
Is that the only instrument that you play? You play any other instruments? Just the piano?
I played the guitar and the oboe in high school.
What did you say about my mother?
Yeah.
The oboe.
You know the oboe.
Nothing's just rocking out like an oboe.
Double reed. You have to have really strong lips for that. And
I do love you, though.
And, the recorder, Native American flute.
I played string bass. I played upright bass for 15 years, yeah.
You need to come on our jazz days.
No,
Carlisle would totally let you play. That's what she plays.
You play upright?
Amanda.
Yep. My bass's name was Eloise, and my first wife made me get rid of it because it took up too much space. I should have got rid of her first.
Your preference was to be with Eloise.
She was a big girl. Loved her. And my grandpa used to pick me up and yell at me all the time because he had a 72 Ford LTD 2-door. Big car back then.
Yeah.
But only 2-door. And he said, why can't you play the flute like the Chinese kids? Tell me that all the time.
It's a lot easier to cart around.
Maneuver than trying to get a 6-foot piece of wood
like
into
a
your...
harp.
It's
like a
giant.
harp.
Well, it's a lot lighter, though. They are light.
Yeah.
But they're just bulky.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlisle.
Yeah, music.
Those guys. Love music.
My heartthrob.
You're my heartthrob.
Oh, Ed.
Thanks. Anyway, it got awkward there. So let's talk. We've talked about your history and how you got into this. What do you do to get business in your door? Obviously, right now, you've kind of become a household name around here. Everybody knows about you. Wherever you go, there you are. Your logo is everywhere. You're on the radio here. You're on social media. How did you get people in the door? What do you do that gets them to come see you?
Well, besides having Ed Tracey come in, and lure the people in.
Here we go.
No, so when I had the truck, I mean, I've been a marketer kind of my whole life. I've had to market myself as a musician.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then as a recruiter, you're selling whatever it is that you're, the Sky West or Southwest, whatever it is. So I'm not a natural born salesperson, but I feel like my favorite game growing up was connect the dots. So I didn't realize later on in life that I'm connecting the dots with people.
Sure.
So for me, it's the human connection that's most important to me. So when I think about marketing Affogato, it's when I first started the truck, and it's a new business. It will be nonstop till the day I'm no longer doing Affogato.
Right.
So you're eating, breathing, and marketing Affogato in every way that you possibly can. You're trying things and you're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. You go into network meetings to find out how to best
and you do that
network.
a lot.
Yes,
you do that.
And there's so many things now that you can be a part of. So I was able to market Affogato the best way I knew how, and that was just everything that I've learned along the way. But then when we moved into our new space, I continued with social media and learned what I could. And then the magical Amanda Williams showed up on my doorstep.
She is kind of magical.
Yes. And so what happened there is, I felt like, oh yeah, I can do this social media thing, Facebook, Instagram, and run a business. And you get to a point where you have to give other people opportunities.
Sure.
You have to let go.
You can't do it all.
Yes.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can try, and we all do.
Yes. And I ended up in the hospital because of that.
Oh, yeah.
So relinquishing, it's your baby. but then giving other people opportunities. So Amanda steps into the scene, and she's a student at DSU majoring in marketing and communications. And so she asked, hey, can I do my internship at Affogato? And it took me about 3 seconds to think about it. And then she basically was able to apply everything that she was learning in her classes. And that's really where the magic just continued. And we grew in leaps and bounds. And so not only was Amanda instrumental in really catapulting Affogato to the next level and helping me, because where if you do it on your own, you can only do so much. But now I have this wonderful woman that's very capable and bright and interested, and she thinks of things I've never thought of. And then Spencer Halford comes and approaches me about my website.
Halford Social Pros.
Yes,
he was
Halford
just on the
Social
show a couple of
Pros.
weeks ago.
Remarkable, brilliant, very, very kind, and we connected. I feel like he's my son.
Sure.
He calls me Mom. So
I call you Mom.
yes. So come to Mama. So anyway, so we were able to establish a relationship with. All right, how do we take Affogato to the next level? And it's been really instrumental in helping Affogato get out there. What's still challenging will always be is there's 200,000 people now in St. George, Washington County.
About 180, 185, something like that.
So yes, I feel like we're a household name. However, there's a lot of people that still don't know that
almost
there's a
200,000
coffee house.
people. There's people that don't even know Greengate Village exists, and it's the
Yes.
oldest property in in the city. And so to get your name out there and make it a household name in every household,
Yes.
you got to do some legwork.
And legwork, and so you also have to tune into what is best for your business, not what everybody else is doing. And that's where you dive into, the inner workings of Affogato. What is that? What's our mission? What's our why? How do I best spend my time in getting the word out there? And that's where Amanda's really helped. That's where Spencer's really helped. But it's also, I didn't want to do any print advertising. But then I found like the green pages. So there's trials that you can do to see if it's going to work for you.
Got to swing the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to spend some money.
A little bit.
And then just see what your return, what your ROI is. So sometimes I feel like it's a crapshoot. Other times I feel very compelled. And I do. You have to know yourself as well, and what you want for your business, and the best way to go about that, and who to involve in your business in those business decisions. I have a lot of people that approach me about so many different things that are going on, and
lots of
programs,
people pulling,
and I never answer without taking a few days to really think about it and do my own research. I love to research.
Sure.
Love research and finding out, the analytics behind what works and what doesn't.
What works best for you, for your business?
Well, I think first and foremost is communication with my customers, listening to what their needs are. And I'm all about trying things too. We're always reinventing Affogato. We know what works, and we keep those things, and we keep them steady. But I love to try new things, and I'm not afraid to. And then we just
well, that's key.
see. And
that's
it
key
is
to
key.
a
And you
business
have
like
to,
that.
yeah.
You've got to always be willing to try something new.
Yep. And not not saying no until you have done your research. And I think what's worked too is our customer service, which is vital to any business. I feel like we truly care about our customers. All 6 of my employees, we greet you as the second you walk in the door. That's important.
They treat it like it's their business.
Absolutely.
Which is
And that's
big
what-
and seldom seen.
Yeah, and it's genuine. Like there's nothing.
No,
they're not,
very true.
They're not putting on a show. I mean, they love their jobs.
They do,
and it shows in the way that our customers are treated, and from start to finish, from the second they walk in, and we thank them when they walk out. We ask them how their drinks were, and we want them to be honest. We always
how hard
say
that is to get employees to
don't
do
lie to
that.
us. Yeah.
And you've done it. I mean, you really have. They are. Don't tell them I said this, but they're great.
No, it's top notch. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a culmination. But like I said, sometimes I feel like I know a lot, and other times I feel like I know nothing. So it's really, it's having a genuine, caring love for what you do. That's your foundation.
And having a business that's scalable like that, to be able to make it work, you've got to be able to scale it to any degree. I mean, do you see maybe an Affogato East? Do you see 2 locations at some point?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. There's several opportunities that have come up that I've been approached with. I feel like I want to get into this new location, get settled, since that really is our permanent location.
Sure.
People say, "What? You're moving again? You
Headquarters.
got your truck?" And then, so yeah, that's headquarters. That's the mama bear, and then we'll get that settled and going, and then
now you're going to live there too, because they have apartments upstairs.
They do have apartments. I'm thinking about it. I want a fire pole that goes from my apartment into Affogato.
That's a great idea.
So I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be awesome. So what would you say is the best part about what you do? What is your favorite part of what you do?
Well, my absolute favorite is when I'm able to hear my customers talk about Affogato.
That's good.
My favorite part, obviously, is my employees. Sure. I absolutely feel like they're my kids. And then waking up in the morning, I don't want to go to sleep.
You start early?
Yeah, I start very early. I don't want to go to sleep because, I'm raring to go.
Yeah.
I have a real passion and love for life. I've been through some pretty darn major challenges and obstacles in my life that have given me the...
Did you learn from them?
I sure hope so. Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said the other day, I was speaking and I said, my middle name is Grit because you learn a lot. I've learned more in the last 2 years than I have in my entire life. But again, it's been a culmination.
What's the hardest part about what you do? What's your least favorite part?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
Okay. My least favorite is making cold brew. Okay, I don't know. No,
it's ice for crying out loud.
Oh, it's an art.
Ice and coffee.
Coffee. My least favorite. I'm trying really hard.
I know you are. I love putting you on the spot.
I know. Let's see.
Well, how can I put it where you can answer it and not feel bad? If you had something that you could do over again in your business, what would it be? Is there anything? Has it all been perfect? Smooth sailing?
No, it hasn't been perfect, and it hasn't been smooth sailing, and I've had a lot of
You still got that truck in your driveway?
No, the truck is gone. But here's here's the thing. That truck taught me. Yeah, I can say, that. I've called it a few names, but without it, I wouldn't be where I am today. So,
and that was like the truck of food trucks. I mean, that was like the armored truck of food trucks. It had everything in it.
It had lots of bells and whistles.
Oh man!
Yeah, it was beautiful on the outside and the inside, and it worked until it didn't.
Right.
And then I was able to, to move in.
And now it's a paperweight on your desk.
It's a paperweight. I sometimes think about. Did I really have to go through that experience? Did I have to start with a food truck, to get what it is that I really wanted to do? And it's just it was all part of the equation. I needed that experience. I needed to work harder than I've ever worked before.
When it's happening, you're like, what the crap?
Yeah.
But, you look back and you're like,
you kick a few boxes to get where I am today. Amanda, what is it that I don't like to do? I'm trying to...
Amanda, you're supposed to know these things.
I know. That's a hard question for me because, and it sounds mushy and it sounds like, come on, Elise. But I am a lover. This is my mantra. How do I want to spend my moments? And if I'm in a place where that's difficult, I have to work through that. But I don't believe in risks. I don't believe in mistakes.
Right.
I think those are words that aren't in my vocabulary. And And
That's great.
yeah, and so I feel like my life's experiences have really brought me to a place where I don't want to think about those things that don't resonate or that I don't
matter.
like. They don't matter.
They don't matter.
They don't matter. I don't spend time thinking, like the word competition is not in my vocabulary.
Competition is good. Competition is good. It really isn't competition then when you think of it that way. Because there's other coffee places out there.
Absolutely. And I feel like I would love to. I love having a strong coffee community. You know,
Sure.
I'm great friends with Perks, and I mean River Rock Roasting. When they first started, we get our beans from River Rock Roasting,
Right.
And we also source them from Phoenix as well. But to have a strong coffee community, you know, where we all work together and making it, you know, the best community that we can have. If you're on board, if you know, great, and if you're not, great. Like I spend my time working on those things that bring me joy, and that service. You know, the community the best way I know how.
Right. Good for you. That was a good answer.
Oh, thanks, Ed.
You didn't even rehearse that. That was awesome.
No.
I'm very proud of you. So let me ask you this. You, obviously, that truck was probably not cheap. Did you bootstrap everything? Did you go out and get loans? We always talk about people when they start their businesses, how do they finance it? Did you go out and get loans from the bank? Did you have a nest egg somewhere? Were you selling stuff on the side of the street to earn all this money? What were you doing that got you to that point?
Financing is always tricky, especially if you don't have a lot to show, especially if you have nothing to start with. So I had angel investors that were able to purchase the truck, and you know, it was a lesson for both us, for both me and my investors with that truck. And that's probably, I guess, if I were to look back, I probably could have done a lot more homework into the purchase of that truck before it was purchased. I was excited.
Did you go to Arizona to get that truck?
Went to Arizona, right? Yeah, drove it back, and so
I'm sure that was great on gas mileage.
Oh
too.
my gosh! And it went about 40 miles an hour on the freeway. Yeah, it took us 14 hours to get home from Phoenix. Yeah. And it was rattling, and you know, it's 22,000 pounds
it's a big
of
truck.
metal. So I was able to, I'm very, very fortunate to have had investors that were able to purchase the truck. Once it broke down, we had to work something out. And then, and now the truck is it's either going to be sold or it's going to be in some other parking lot.
I heard the Navy's going to
do
use
with
it as a warship.
They totally could. They could put some wings on it.
That is a big ass truck. I can say that word on the radio, by the way.
24 feet long, 15 feet high, 22,000 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a big girl. So then when she broke down, then luckily when I moved into the Unicorn Hatch Labs, it was pretty much that I didn't have to build the shell. It was already there.
Right.
So I did have to purchase, you know, an espresso machine and, you know, a 3-compartment sink and the health code, all that lovely stuff. So we were able to get the licensing and get a visit with the city. They were great to work with. They knew I was in a rush to get everything set up. And within 3 weeks of the truck, you know, pretty much breaking down in June, we started, once I was able to secure the Hatch Labs
You had a hustle.
spot, we were in there in 3 weeks. Yeah, I was losing money. I mean,
Gotta
my
keep it going.
employees, here are my employees, you know, some of them found other jobs. And so I had to get in there in a hurry and get it going. We had about, we had about 300 people that showed up for our opening day, and it was a lot, and away we went.
One more time, website, affogatowest.com.
Yes.
Okay. Social media, Facebook, Instagram.
Affogato West. And we're very, very active on social media.
How many followers, Amanda?
Like 2,000-3,000 now.
3,000 followers.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's a lot.
I know. And it's grown. It's probably doubled since since I, you know, started when I was doing it on my own. But I think, you know, the thing that is most important to me is our community. I love our community. And to be able to offer a safe place where anybody is welcome around our campfire, where you can come and take a load off. You can have a business meeting there. And that's what's so fun is what it's evolved into.
I agree.
We're not very busy from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., which surprised me. But when we are our busiest is from 9 o'clock on, because that's when people start coming in for their meetings. You know, they're dropping their kids off at school or whatever daycare, and they come over. But a lot of people come to relax. And it's their third place. You've got your home, you have your work, and Affogato has become a third place for our community.
That says a lot.
Meaningful.
Yeah, very meaningful. Very meaningful.
Yeah.
So you're going to have sofas and all this at your new place?
Yep, we'll have some sofas. We're going to have furniture that'll be easily moved because we're going to have music there.
Right.
Events. I really want to be
A
able
little
to
bar,
have a space available.
like that,
yes.
too?
Want to have a space available for events in the evenings, and then open it up to who knows what. Pier 28 Clothing. It's a beach clothing. It's owned by a gal that lives in Salt Lake, small business. She's going to occupy some space in there as well.
In your spot.
So
Very
she'll have
cool.
all kinds of clothing and beach goods.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be a beach cottage in the desert.
This town is moving up, baby.
Oh,
I'm going to have to start getting some surfer shorts or something.
yeah.
Show off these massively white, hairless legs of mine.
Well, join the club because it's tough.
You're
when
supposed to
live
have
inside.
hairless legs. I'm not. I'll show you someday, folks, just not today.
Oh, that's something to look forward to, I guess.
No, it's not. So what else? What else do you want to talk about? Tell me what if you could do anything over that you've done in the last 2 years. What would you do? What would you do differently?
There's that question again. It's
It's the same but different.
It is the same question, but different. Okay, if I could go back, not that I want to and not that I would have, I would have opened up a brick and mortar from the get-go.
No truck.
No truck.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Trucks, there's always different licensing. You got to have a lot of different fire codes because you're in an enclosed area and anything can happen in there.
Well, and here's the thing about the truck that people don't know. You say, oh, well, here, can you bring your truck up to my place during lunchtime? Well, you've got to secure everything. You're moving a truck that is full of stuff.
Right.
So you have to secure it all. It's a 50-gallon water tank on that truck. Oh. So you have to unload that water every night somewhere. You can't go to an RV joint.
Really?
So you've got to get creative. Initially, we went out to the water reclamation facility. You've got to dump your 50 gallons of water every night.
Every night?
Every night. And so that means you've got to secure everything in your truck every night so you can move it. You've got to take it off the blocks. You drive it out to Bloomington, and that truck goes about 20 miles an hour.
Yes.
You go to the water reclamation facility. You dump your gray water, is what they call it. You come back. You put your truck back on the stilts on the blocks. Right. You fill it with 50 gallons of water, and then you start the next morning.
That's crazy.
And that's 365 days a year.
Holy
And if
mackerel.
you run out of water, you've got to hurry and fill it up because there were days when I was, very, very busy. So that was the greatest challenge. And then the truck definitely had some issues with the way that it was, initially built. So we had to, it had some electrical, it just had malfunctions a lot, left and right.
Well, we're glad you're here. And I'm glad that you have your own brick and mortar coming up. We're very excited. And we're coming there. Affogato West.
That is fantastic.
Make sure you go see them right now. It's 214 1000 East, right?
214 North.
North 1000 East.
Behind Tropical Smoothie.
And you're going to be over on 100 South at some point.
We're going to be Tabernacle
200
and West.
200 West. Elise West, Affogato West. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Ed Tracey.
Love you. Startup Nation. We'll be back next week, everybody. Keep it safe. We'll see you soon.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Startup Nation with Ed Tracey. For video and or audio of the show, go to YouTube or Facebook, Podbean or Spotify, and search Radio St. George. Or go to radiostgeorge.com. We invite you back next Tuesday at 3 o'clock for another edition of Startup Nation on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
KDXI, St. George.